everyone, and welcome to Shoots and Swerves. We are your hosts, Chris Cortez at Channel Cortez 33 and Jonathan at Bad Guy Wrestling. And today is your All Out Chicago 2023 review. Jonathan, how you doing today, this morning?
I'm good. You know, we originally we're gonna do it after the pay-per-view, but my old bones could not do it.
Yeah.
So it's the morning. It's the morning after.
Right. You know, this was held in Chicago, so we were definitely, watching it in more or less nighttime to what it was like. And of course I started it a little bit late. So, and so we had to play catch up. Before you know it was like 2:00 in the morning. What are we going to do?
Yeah, I'm not on my game to provide this entertaining content for you all at that point.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, let's jump right into it. We have not really talked about this at all. So we don't even know each other's just initial thoughts on this review, on this show altogether. What did you think of this show as a whole?
Overall, I'll be honest, going into it, I had very low expectations, and I was pissed because of CM Punk fallout.
Yep.
I'm holding a little bit of a grudge right now against AEW, even though. But I think the show overall was good. I give it a good rating. There was some stuff that was okay, but I think there was a few key marquee matches that really held its own in this.
Yeah, it was a good pay-per-view. I thought it was a good show. Had some great matches to cover that just made this show excellent to a certain extent. Yep. We'll have to ask ourselves, was it up there with All Out?
No.
It wasn't. It was under All In. It definitely wasn't as good as All In. However, and then going back to what my initial, just as soon as the show started and throughout the show, I just felt this kind of void. Because you want to talk about being upset with them. We'll talk more about CM Punk, but clearly the show, the way it was designed, the way it was set up, it was the CM Punk pay-per-view.
Even the imagery, they had the stars for All Out. They had the CM Punk stars. They had the black and red.
Right.
It was a CM Punk show. Absolutely. Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And people will be like, oh, well, it was in Chicago. No. The design was way too, just way too comparable to CM Punk. It was way too much. There have been plenty of shows in Chicago that incorporated Chicago theme-based aesthetics. Okay, it wasn't that. It would never be that close to a CM Punk design. So yeah, they were missing him. Now that is not to say that they did not pull through a show without him. We'll talk about that. But yeah, that was what's kind of missing. The Chicago crowd I thought was excellent. At the beginning of the show, I thought they seemed kind of out of it, as if they were also down in the dumps. But that crowd is probably one of the top 3 best crowds in the whole country. So they're gonna pull through for the good stuff. They react
double clotheslines.
Right. They react to everything that you give them. If you give them your best, which AEW seemed to have given them their best, Chicago's going to appreciate it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
the matches I was going to rag on ahead of time, like Dark Order and stuff like that. I'll be honest, every match was better than I thought it was going to be, or it was just as good as I thought it would be. So,
yeah, every single match I thought was really great. There was one match we're going to talk about that I can think of right off the bat, which was great match, but the ending just kind of upset me, which was the Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho match. That pissed me off. I was like, okay. And I don't know. I'm going to look back. I'm going to watch some podcasts and see what they say about Tony Storm, because I think Tony Storm is just off for gourd. But what really upsets me is that I don't see any kind of direction. Maybe you can help me out here, Jonathan. What is the origin of this character?
I don't know, because in our prediction show, I had it going the opposite way, where
right.
So it looks
everything was working. Everything was good. Saraya was there. She was helping. Then comes in Tony Storm.
Obviously, I think this is a way to they want to develop Toni Storm's character a little more. I think they put her into the title, and then she was better chasing, and then it kind of lost momentum when she was the champion. So all I can think of is they're trying to develop her more to make her one of the top women's, wrestlers.
Yeah. See, looks wise, she looks great. Maybe that's why everybody's all about it. But like, she's got the crazy gimmick, which you have to be careful with. If you're not, doing it right, it just doesn't make sense. It just comes off as almost kind of lazy.
Yeah, kind of corny, overdone.
Yeah, Nikki Cross was a good crazy character. Okay, because she still had her direction. Yeah. She applied it to her gimmick, her wrestling style. She was a beast. Okay, so it was okay. It worked. That was the perfect way to do it.
Or AJ Lee was doing it for a while.
AJ Lee was doing it for a while. Right now, I'm looking at I mean, most recent I can think of is like an Alexa Bliss, maybe when she's a little bit off the handle, and there wasn't too much direction is where I'm looking at.
It went too much.
But sure. They've been doing this for years. With there's so many other wrestlers that you can find that have been through this kind of a gimmick where they're like not quite right in the head, and it did not work at all. And I am not sold on this at all. And this night didn't even help. All the other matches were great though. All the other matches I thought were great. A lot of big man matches. You got Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor. You got Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Both delivered. You got Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin was a brutal match. Daniel Bryan versus Ricky Starks was a pretty brutal match. I think that match was also kind of chopped and screwed together at the last minute just to kind of.
For sure. That was the CM Punk replacement match.
And that is the match we'll probably talk the most about CM Punk here. And then, of course, the FTR match, FTR Young Bucks versus the Bullet Club Gold. I was a little surprised at that match. I wasn't expecting too much. Yeah. And it was what it was. I wasn't expecting it to end the way it did, but I'm kind of happy that it did. So
yeah, storyline, it'll do something with the Young Bucks here.
Yeah. And Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita was a brutal match, okay? And it delivered, and it was ended. Probably my favorite match of the night. And Takeshita just finished. I mean, he won. The only thing, there was one little distraction. I mean, a big distraction with the screwdriver, but that looked pretty cool. But when push comes to shove, there was no physical interference from Don Callis, just kind of a little bit of a distraction.
The chair thing on the outside,
right? That was the very beginning.
It was for the most part, a legit win. Like,
yeah, I mean, the only thing he did is he set up some chairs on top of Kenny Omega. That still was, not like a strike. Anyway, yeah, you're right.
Tried to do the screwdriver, goes into the mat. And
that was brutal.
Yeah,
that was a little heavy. And of course, the beginning of the show, they started it off with Ring of Honor. Tag champions. You got MJF and Adam Cole versus the Dark Order, and that I think that was a good start. Okay, made sense. Couldn't have been the main event.
No, not with Dark Order. No.
Yeah, they finished.
Even though this made them look better. Especially their entrance when they came out. I'm like, loving the new music. Thing. Yeah.
Love the new music. I love the new music. Shibata Kingston versus Claudio and Wheeler. I mean, kind of saw it. Good match. Yeah. Just kind of keeping things going. Hopefully there's something more to it. Cassidy versus John Moxley. They cap it off with that. They did the right thing with that main event. That was brutal. A main event. Hell of a main event. Almost thought Orange Cassidy was going to pull it off, and I thought they were going to keep the title on for a second. But in the end, it was
made me doubt the common prediction of Moxley getting it. It was like, ooh, not sure about this one anymore.
Yeah, Cassidy definitely held his own. And of course, one match we just kind of went over, kind of missed was Joe versus Shane Taylor. Again, that was another big man match. We talked about it as being one of the bigger man matches. So I think we covered all the matches. So we're going to get right into it with detail. But yeah, this card delivered. It was stacked. It just had a little something or someone missing. So
yeah, it was actually worth the $50. For a pay-per-view that was thrown together pretty fast, or at least it feels like it, with no build-up or anything. I feel like, you know what? 2 pay-per-views in 1 week's time. All right. Decent.
I still think that they should have had a package deal.
I think so too.
They could have so close together. You got to have you could have had a package deal where people bought both pay-per-views and you're good to go. And it would have been even more of a what's it called? Like
I think they would have sold more units.
They would have sold more units. Yeah, it would have been like more of a quality product. Okay?
Yeah,
it would
like
have been more of
$75
a reception. Yeah, 75 would have been good. Two
Yeah.
things. That's good. Okay, $69.99.
Yeah, there we go.
$69.99. Give me
what I like.
$69.99, and you got it. Okay, you can get
Mhm.
one pay-per-view for $50. Get them both for $69.99. Come on.
Yeah, awesome.
Anyways, so we're gonna get right into it. Let's start this match. But if you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button on at Channel Cortez 33. You can also find Jonathan at Bad Guy Wrestling, and we are on both Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Of course, you can find us here. Yes,
Channel Cortez 33, not at Bad Guy Wrestling.
I saw you probably saw a video of you recently. You just published a new video on CM Punk. We'll talk about that. I was watching a little bit. That was pretty interesting. There's definitely some things to go over and talk about regarding like Tony Khan and regarding like what would have happened. Like, I mean, the big question is that everyone seems to be thinking about, of course, is, you know, what would have happened if this was done in WWE? It would have been a lot different.
Yeah, for sure.
Would have been a lot different. So we'll get into that a little more. We're not going to let that topic just, you know, completely absorb this whole damn review.
No, maybe we do a different one. Maybe we, you know, make a separate.
I'll try to, maybe we will. I want to bring it up a little bit just so that we don't have to do that because, you know, it's being done to death, and we'll see what happens. And people are, First match, MJF and Adam Cole versus the Dark Order. You got it's Silver and Reynolds, Alex Reynolds, correct?
Yep.
And for the Ring of Honor tag titles, okay? This match, they start the match. They're filling each other up. Automatically, you got the kangaroo kick chants ringing, all right? You got a nice pump kick by Adam Cole. Already just a double clothesline shouts. MJF's calling for sportsmanship, then a thumb to the eye of Alex Reynolds. Shot to the back of MJF by Silver, and Reynolds takes advantage of the opportunity, okay? Outside, MJF saying, my neck, dude, my neck. Shit, my neck. That's the whole story of this match because it's going to lead up to MJF being taken out of the match for a while, and Adam Cole is essentially wrestling a handicap match.
Yeah, so, because of the chair shot. Alex Reynolds takes the chair right into the back of the neck. So.
Yeah. After Silver strikes Cole, Reynolds takes advantage of that with the chair, yes. Mm-hmm. One fan looking really serious. They cut to it. I just have to point this out. One clip of a girl. She's just like.
It's like, hopefully that becomes a meme like the Undertaker streak being broken guy, though.
Yeah. I'm like, don't worry. It's going to be okay, young lady. I think this might be part of the match. I don't know. Call me crazy. I mean, they're literally laughing. The commentators can't even keep it together. They're laughing when them just like, shit, my neck, dude. It's my neck.
The bro-ness.
Adam Cole's like, what's wrong, bro? What's wrong? It's my neck.
It's just my neck.
Meanwhile, you got later. Oh, shit. He's hurt.
I hope his neck is okay.
Chicago, you guys are great. You guys are so invested. I appreciate it. You go, okay. No wonder why you guys are the best crowd. You guys are so invested in it that you actually think this is happening in real life.
I want to believe like she's believing.
Yeah, I want to have that kind of faith again. Okay, I want to have that kind of suspended disbelief. I want
it to still be real. Damn it!
I think that life must be one hell of a ride. Okay, perhaps there's a drug that can be purchased that causes you to realize that wrestling is real. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she's on it. Okay. No side effects, no like dizziness, no like weird effects. Just makes you believe that wrestling is 100% legit.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because I take it every day.
Yeah. Right. So they're back in the ring. Cole's getting double teamed, single clothesline chance. Nigel McGuinness is calling for a double clothesline, but by the Dark Order. Okay. You get a great super kick to Reynolds from Adam Cole, who like leaps from the apron to the boot of Adam Cole, then roll up to Silver, kicks and the Silver Fisherman Buster for a near fall. Evil Uno, he gets involved. He's attacking MJF on the outside at one point. Cole's still in it. He takes Reynolds out, then counters Silver's Brainbuster with this trap breaker. Fury of combinations, though, from the Dark Order into the near fall. They're just taking it to him, but Cole, is holding his own. And eventually MJF comes back in the ring, gets the tag, strikes the Dark Order, body slams, cracks the heads of the Dark Order together like Mo, and gets the then 10 turnbuckle pad slams and 10 punches on the top turnbuckle on the other side. Bites Reynolds' head like Hulk Hogan, right, would at the end of his career. And then, of course, the kangaroo kick to the Dark Order. Big double clothesline to Reynolds for the win, okay? Chicago.
Hype up on the...
Yeah, he does the hop.
Yes.
And then he just does that kangaroo kick, okay?
The swinging of the ropes and stuff.
Swinging of the Ultimate Warrior, swinging of the ropes. Chicago was into this match, okay? And... but the real story goes is MJF's walking back up the ramp. Joe comes down the ramp, gives MJF a shove on purpose. Totally just, like they're not even in each other's direction. Yeah, and it was.
He goes out of his way.
He's out of his way. He's totally intentional. He clearly wants a shot at the title. He wants to get involved, and he has every right to be.
Did you see the comparison of the NXT stuff that like the thing MJF posted? So the whole thing was a play off of when Joe was champion in NXT and MJF was like a worker behind him, like a security or something. Yeah, and they're walking down the hallway. MJF's behind him, but he kind of gets too close, and Joe just pushes him out of the way. So this was kind of like a parody of that moment. And
I got to see this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Go to MJF's. I think it's his Twitter or something. He posted the clip. So
excellent. Yeah, he posted it. So he's really
it's part of it's the story. Then
it's the story. It's totally the next story for them. And it makes perfect sense. Adam Cole has a history with Samoa Joe to a certain extent, and so this is a great.
So, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be a tag team story, or do you think it's going to be a singles story? Because if it's a single story, belts could be on the line for.
Belts could be on the line. I do think
either way, belts could be on the line. But I mean, Samoa Joe. Like, what if MJF collects Samoa Joe's belt? What if he's got 3 titles?
If he becomes a belt collector, I don't know. I will say this though. Samoa Joe is they're trying to make it sound like I think they're trying to take the record for the television title. They're 60 days away from him becoming the longest reigning television champ.
Yeah.
Over Jay Lethal. Okay. That being said, I would like to see Joe lose the title before the record, perhaps, or just after. Either way, that story has to play out. Okay. What's going to happen with his reign? I don't think MJF's going to collect the TV title, but then you could be stranger things have happened. He's got the Ring of Honor tag titles. Let's throw the TV title in there while you're at it. It's ridiculous.
He's a tag title with the person he just defended his main.
What if Adam Cole wins the Ring of Honor TV title, steals it from Joe?
That is a great idea. I like that a lot. Yeah. It's like a second place championship for him.
It's a second place champ. It's not even the TNT title. It's definitely, it's so clearly a second place title. Yes. Yes, it is. So I think that I would love it if Lethal, I mean, I don't think this is necessarily going to happen, but I just would love it if Lethal would get the hell away from that group and actually maybe defend his record and be like, look, I'm taking the title, not letting you break my title. And quite frankly, I'm ready to hold that title again. I'm ready to hold a singles title. I'm ready to get back in my singles career.
Man, you're killing it with these ideas. I'm loving that.
They're wasting Lethal right now. I'm telling you, they're wasting him. So
they are. I mean, it's comedy bits that they do. It's kind of entertaining, but it's really not what he should be all about.
No, it's not.
But MJF. I do want to bring up one thing here, though.
Yeah.
like the Better Than You baby, they're great, but I really want to make sure we have time to talk about Dark Order's new direction here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Let's just finish up this thing with
yeah.
Joe. MJF's all pissed off. Adam Cole's like, no, calm it down. And he runs after Joe, who and attacks him, who then applies a guillotine choke on MJF. I mean, that looked like it was going to be a problem. Cole
on my
calls
next
for
row.
security. Yeah, Cole calls for security. I feel like he probably should have gotten between the two. So not sure what's that all about, but
he's just in shock and disbelief.
Exactly. He's a little in shock, and he's traumatized by this interaction between the two.
Yeah, he's like the fan that you were just referencing.
That's right. Okay, I'll buy it. So let's go to Dark Order, because one of the first things I thought of was that damn music. That music sounded awesome. They sounded brutal.
Yeah, I know. They have completely stripped away the whole comedy routine of the Dark Order.
I didn't see any comedy. Yeah,
they're done. The new music is brutal. It's awesome. Yeah. Like, I know we like metal, and
keep that going.
Yeah, absolutely. And like their whole demeanor and stuff like that, it's better for them. It totally is. This is honestly, they should have never gone into this comical routine that they were in.
No.
This could, if they do it right, this is why I think it's important. This could be the start of actually having some legitimacy to Dark Order again.
Yeah.
And maybe actually having TV time on the main shows.
Yeah. It could be the best version of the Dark Order that we've ever seen. And being this tough, aggressive Dark. I really loved the Dark Order when Brody Lee was the champion, or was the leader, because it was a little comical, but it was also just kind of strange. It was like a cult. It was really cool. You know what? I don't know what the hell they're waiting. I was just thinking about it. I was like who would make the best leader for this kind of a Dark Order?
Yeah, I can't.
I can think of who it is. I'm sorry.
Evil Uno is just not doing it for me. Yeah.
I mean, what are they waiting for? I was just thinking. I was like, how could we not be thinking of this, or how could they not be pushing this? Malachi Black should be the leader. House of Black.
Already has House of Black, though.
House of Black would be like the sub. So in fact, like big factions, you have sub factions.
Oh, you're really trying to get New Japan on this, huh?
You damn right I am. I mean, they've already taken enough from New Japan. Why not just go all the way and have a sub? Like that would be like the trios team is the House of Black, and the Kings of the Black Throne, and then you have the leader of the he would be the Dark Order. He would make the perfect Dark Order leader. His name is Malachi Black.
Oh yeah, this would immediately add legitimacy to John Silver and Alex Reynolds right now if they did that.
And everybody else who else is missing, I don't know, even an Evil Uno, they would be like a part of a faction that would have at the top of the mountain would have these guys that are just legit, real legit guys, and they would have no choice but to elevate the rest of them.
That's true. Yeah, right now Dark Order, besides John Silver, Alex Reynolds, you have Evil Uno. And then I always forget his name, the slender guy because one of them, 10 left, 10 with the lucha mask and everything, he left the group. And then there's the smaller guy. I can never remember his name. But he's there too. He does good matches.
Jonathan. I can't remember either.
Yeah, he does good matches. I mean, was it 7?
And maybe it would bring them. Maybe it would bring some of them back into it. Maybe the ones that left would be like, well, hey, now the order is reestablished, let's get back to this.
But I do want one thing about them. So they're technically like the whole gimmick is like a cult, right? Is that it?
Cult, dark, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dark cult, like join the Dark Order. You're part of this group and stuff like that. And so that's something I really want them to kind of refocus on.
Yeah.
Is build back up their group, their character, that they're a cult, that they're trying to recruit. Yeah. So when Hangman was like, messing with them and they wanted them to join and stuff, no one's going to join your comedy troupe. No one cares. Now I want them to be something like where if I join them, like they're going to come out and they're going to cause havoc on my behalf and stuff like that.
A real threat.
And I want some real cultish stuff. I want them to feel brainwashed. I wanted like all that kind of stuff.
I would love it. I loved it the way it was. But yes, even take it even further. Like you're saying, cult stuff, mind control stuff. on a kind of domestic level, like a surface level where it like almost like it comes off kind of weird, but also comes off kind of normal. But then the more deeper you get into the Dark Order, you get to the crazy kind of almost satanic-ish kind of stuff with Malachi Black, because now you're like in the thick of it. And the Dark Order is really this evil piece, like crazy, almost, organization.
And they can bring back some of the goofiness, like especially with John Silver. I mean, he does it well, but it's got to go back to what you were talking about first. When you run that line of craziness,
right?
I want them to feel unstable. That's more of it. I want him to feel like when he's acting like goofy or when he's trying to joke around, you're waiting for him to snap.
Right.
Like, I think that's where they're strongest right there, is when they're evil as but also unstable, I think is a big deal.
I like that. So I hope it happens. I hope we get into it, and I look forward to seeing what's going to take place.
Yeah.
So.
I just want everyone to know that, like, I want every stable, I want every wrestler to do good. I want them to be the best version. Like, I want them to develop, because having great characters is not a bad thing. Having one or two top guys, okay, that's good. But like having like a whole show full of entertaining people that could, anybody could win at any moment is not a bad thing.
No, it's in fact, in my opinion, I think it's a necessary thing. Okay,
yeah.
Look at the Attitude Era. Look at look at the card. Look at ECW in its prime. There were no bad talent. There was levels of great talent, and everyone working very carefully to ensure that nobody was buried or nobody was looked sloppy. Because quite frankly, why are you going to bury talent for the sake of others? I don't want to see them anymore. They're not worth anything to me, and you're just killing. And at the end of the day, we might all be invested in one or two storylines, one or two, characters or factions, but that's me doing a lot of fast forwarding, quite frankly. You want to be real? That's me doing a lot of fast forward. So maybe you guys don't care. Maybe you're just trying to make as much content as possible and it's working for you. But at the end of the day, I'm fast forwarding to the stuff that matters. And if you have content that's all good, I'm not going to fast forward. And that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's all I have to say about Dark Order. I am cheering for them, but right now I'm not sold on them, is basically it.
Well, we'll keep an eye out. Second match, Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor for the Ring of Honor television title. Okay.
That was my first Shane Taylor, and since you were telling me about him, I'm in. He's cool.
Yeah. He did a good job. I thought this match did exactly what it needed to do. Just two big men right off the bat, just like hammering in. Right into Shane Taylor goes Samoa Joe, who then responds. Taylor responds with the shoulder tackle, strikes. I mean, every strike he does just looks really good. And that
because he was a boxer, right?
20 years of boxing experience just shows. Big clothesline by Shane Taylor, who is then taken outside, where they continue to just strike each other. Back in the ring, a Uranagi by Taylor into a splash pin attempt. Enziguri by Joe, then a crazy elbow suicida. That was like the high impact match of the move of the match, which I really liked. Back in the ring, hits the Manhattan drop, boot, and a Samoan drop by Joe. Pin attempt broken in at 1. Kind of shocked Joe a little bit. Taylor's big dude. He's not going to let up. But big clothesline again by Taylor. They're messing around along the ropes. You got a sleeper by Joe, but then a hanging stunner by Taylor. Big splash by Taylor. And the match is mainly just that. You got big, just hard-hitting moves. It's a brawl, but it worked. I mean, it worked. Yeah.
It's like a preview of the meat match later on.
Right. I mean, big strike by Joe. Knees to he just starts hitting Taylor with these knees. Okay. You could tell Taylor's just kind of getting worn down, then puts in the coquina clutch. And you know where it's going. It's a victory for the most part. Didn't have much else to say. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was exactly how long it needed to be.
Yeah, it was a shorter match for sure. Yeah. And it was good.
Yeah, and I'm glad. Yeah.
It's like with the promos. If you can't talk, keep it short. Yeah. And you got two big men here. Let's go all out for like 10 minutes. And as the name implies.
Joe's going to move on to the story, I think, with MJF and perhaps and God knows what else with his title. And Shane Taylor is now introduced to them to a larger audience. Win-win. Maybe Shane Taylor can go work in your Ring of Honor. Exactly. So did what they needed to do.
Yeah, good match. It was entertaining.
No. JR now on commentary. You got Nick Wayne outside with Darby Allin as his Christian with Luchasaurus. This match was, again, another one that we kind of knew where it was going and a couple twists and turns. The start of the match, okay, you got Darby's tossed. I mean, he's just being tossed like a ragdoll. If this is any indication of how this match is gonna be going, Allen's in for quite a night.
Oh yeah, how many times did they talk about the 100-pound difference? Like, what, 10?
I don't know because I was too busy like being distracted by Darby being like just thrown around and like I was like, oh god.
Yeah, the commentator, right? Was it Nigel McGuinness or something?
Yeah,
there was 100-pound. That's the 100-pound difference, right? It was like over and over again. I was
over and over again. We get it. Yeah,
it is 100-pound. Yeah.
He's tossed into steel steps a bunch of times. I loved it when Christian went up to Luchasaurus and he goes, "Maim him, maim him."
He's like in his ear. You know what you gotta do.
He's like, maim him.
He was like channeling his inner Vince McMahon.
He was definitely doing that. Okay. Love that. Head slammed into the steps. Boot shoves the head into the steps. Okay. Is Luchasaurus doing this to Darby? Saurus breaks the count just to get back outside, sets up the steps just a little bit away from the post, and he picks up Darby, hits Snake Eyes onto the steel steps. He's already busted open. Places the steps on the back of Darby, proceeds to walk on the steps. I thought that was a nice image. And Darby's just screaming. Okay. Then he goes back to the ring. Nick Wayne comes and is like, clap, clap, clap. Come on, Darby, let's go. Yeah. Darby's like, ah! Not exactly going to do much. With those
Darby's dying
claps.
Right now.
Yeah. Motivational claps aren't going to do much for you. Okay. Yeah. But, you know, he's working on it. Nick Wayne's getting better every day. But he does lift the steps off of Darby. And Allen's back in the ring. Luchasaurus hits this power side suplex, okay, then chops the hell out of Darby. Then lobs Allen into the corner, bites him for good measure, okay. Another strike miss, but the next one, just a hard head, not the next, was a hard headbutt. Got a choke slam by Luchasaurus, is avoided into a roll-up by Darby. Only two.
Was that the one off the top rope? Or
then he hits the moonsault off the ropes. Okay. Yeah, it was cool. Leaping shoulder tackle to Saurus, does nothing. Okay, bounces off. It was
because of the 100-pound difference, Chris.
100-pound difference. There you go. And then at some point, then Luchasaurus exposes the torso of Allen, takes off those bandages, uses the bandages to lift Darby Allin by the face for this big strike. Allen pushes Lucia into the corner post. Okay, sets Saurus up on a chair and then attacks, hits the somersault off the top rope. Nice. Power bomb. Back in the ring, a power bomb by Luchasaurus is countered to a crucifix roll-up. Darby for the coffin splash gets caught. Big German suplex right on the head. Sick by Luchasaurus. Christian Dwayne telling him to throw in the towel. Nice little.
That was my favorite part, I think.
The guy is gold every time. Yeah. I mean, he's always got something to offer.
Yeah.
Suicided to Christian to get Christian off of Nick Wayne's case. I guess this is where it comes in. Back to the ring, a choke slam countered by a bite. Avalanche Code Red looked great by Darby Allin. Looked like that could have been a pin, but it was such a close near fall. It was a great.
But there was a 100-pound difference, so we could.
100-pound difference. Not gonna. Yeah, exactly. Got to factor in that 100-pound difference. Christian with a chair to Nick Wayne. Darby distracted Luchasaurus for the two tombstones. Then lifts him to the corner buckle. Hellacious lariat. It's over. Okay.
Yeah, a throw into the turnbuckle was. I mean, I guess it was the move, but it is literally was like a looking move, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a wheelbarrow into the pad. Then, it looked brutal.
And like Darby sold it like really well, so that's why I was like, is this a botch? Is this
love this match?
No, I guess they just made it look really brutal.
Oh no, they made it look really brutal. I like Luchasaurus's music; they really highlighted that. This match was great. I love it. Nick Wayne. Christian then brings in Nick Wayne. It's not over to watch a concerto until Sean Spears, of all people, shows up with a few other guys I don't even know.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell.
I think one of them was I think the only other one that I recognized was Action Andretti, and
Okay.
then I think at the very end they showed one of the best friends, Trent. Trent was out in it too.
Gotcha.
But most of them, you're right. I
Randos.
don't know who the hell they were.
Yeah. They stop what's about to happen. Okay. So the story is kind of still going, and that's great. That's great. This gives Darby Allin something to do. I almost thought I was going to see a Nick Wayne turn. Like he was going to join Christian.
That's where you were going? Okay.
I mean, I almost thought I saw that because it was like there's a lot of interaction between the two. And I'm looking at just with that, I'm looking at Nick Wayne and I'm saying to myself, Nick Wayne looks like he could be a protege for Christian. Like he has all the right tools to do exactly what the type of stuff that Christian would do as a heel. And more so and more. I mean, Christian was amazing with Edge. I mean, you talk about those tag team championship matches with the Dudleys and the Hardys. Christian and Edge had so much high risk impact moves. Then you got Nick Wayne, who could pretty much do all that stuff.
Yeah, and let's explore that a little bit. So what is Nick Wayne's weakness right now? It's probably experience and the fact that he just turned 18, and so this is nothing against him. No. I mean, obviously he's doing something right to be 18 and being on a pay-per-view event, but it's the kind of the performance aspect, the storylines and learning, how to entertain and not just do moves, and
the awareness, the self-awareness,
the talking, the promos and stuff. And who would be a great mentor? It was Christian.
Christian would be the perfect mentor.
Actually, Christian would be perfect to me because honestly, I think this is the best Christian has ever been.
Oh my God, it's my favorite. I think stupid jacket. I love it so much.
Yeah, I think when he was in WWE, even when he became Captain Charisma and stuff, I think he struggled to be a singles guy without Edge. And now in AEW, he is the
best I've ever seen. This is the most I've ever loved Christian, and I love him. And I look forward to seeing Christian out there every single day. I've always kind of struggled with Christian, not so much his performance, but his character.
Yeah, exactly.
The peeps were. I mean, there were bouts of like humor that I loved about him, and but I always kind of felt like he was being shadowed, like he was overshadowed by an Edge. By any other mid-carder or not mid-card, but like any other guy who was kind of on the rise. You put him in the ring with anybody else who was on the rise, and it was hard to kind of compare him. Yeah. You can't compare him to a Randy Orton. You can't compare him to an Edge. You put him in the ring with he's always going to be overshadowed to a certain extent because his character was not nearly as developed as it is right now.
He was always the afterthought, or
right.
But he has gone through that journey now. Like you said, he's at his peak right now, definitely as a character, and that's something he could easily impart. I mean, he's helping Luchasaurus out, who's pretty plain once you get past his look.
I mean, we're looking at a potential Christian stable with this kind of character.
Yeah,
like a whole campaign, like what do you call it? Like $1 Million Man had a faction like this. Anybody that's ever been a wrestler and then turns like into a kind of takes on a backseat kind of managerial role where he's got guys, just a family of wrestlers that he kind of mentors.
Yeah. I was thinking about the fact that like you're saying, like he is a wrestler and now he's basically a manager.
He's more of a manager now. Yeah.
But he still wrestles from time to time. He's not like he's that guy that can, it would be cool if they can he can back up what he's managing,
which is what makes him so great. He can do it because he can do it, and he still has the gas in the tank to do that. So it's great. I love that.
It's unfortunate that at this stage in his career is the height of it, And
that's fun. No, you know what? That is the initial reaction, but you know what? It's actually a beautiful thing because he can ride this thing for as long as he needs to. And his body can handle it. He's not going to have to worry about, well, what do I got to do next to make ends meet? He's definitely viable. He's definitely like, a kind of he's not indisposable. He's not disposable.
Yeah.
He's an indisposable character that doesn't have to worry about his body so much.
Yeah. And so he can take time off for a while and still come out on TV though.
Still come out on TV, can still work, still has the ideas, still gets to can still take bumps, okay? Yeah. Not get hurt. No wrestler has to worry about hurting him, okay? That's a beautiful thing. So
it's a great placement for him.
And we're all hoping one day that Edge makes his way. I mean, I swear this is so. I'm not. We're gonna go too far with this, but I would love to. I mean, there have been talks about Edge going to AEW, and I would like
the
to see
contract
that.
falls through.
You know, I'm not worrying about it right now, but I'm thinking about it down the road. One day, have Edge would make a perfect fit to see what he would be like in another promotion. Okay, just to see it. And have him work with Christian as a tag team partner, as a nemesis, as you know, him working with Kenny Omega, or him working with guys like Daniel Bryan, guys like MJF. I mean, he could just Darby. I mean, so many different characters. Darby Allin. I mean, Sting. It would be so great.
I mean, he could feud with Christian stable if he has one.
Right. So it would make a lot of sense to like just another reason. I almost feel like we need to make a trade. You know. CM Punk needs to go to we're not going to get into it too much. I was just going to say CM Punk, I think, needs to go to WWE.
Yeah, and stick it to them.
Edge needs to go to AEW. Like we need to have might need to be some certain trades. So
yeah, let's bring the draft. Let's do the WWE draft, but now let's have it across promotions.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do that one day. Miro, fourth match, Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay.
Yeah, the pay-per-view is really starting to pick up at this point with the energy.
Oh yeah. I'm just like, man, we got a night going because this is only the fourth match, and they mentioned the Bryan Danielson match, Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks. I'm like, okay, so we're up to 10 matches on the main card.
Yeah.
So we're in for a night. Did you see the shirt on Miro? On the Redeemer? Did you happen to notice the shirt on the Redeemer?
No, actually, I didn't.
I swear. Go back and look. It looks like a painting from the Byzantine era, like post-Byzantine era.
Yeah. I think he's been doing that a little bit. The imagery and stuff. I gotta check out what you're saying though, to be specific. Yeah.
Oh man, this is great. This is ridiculous.
Hey, remember when Seth Rollins had the stained glass?
The stained glass.
What was he? He was the Monday Night Messiah. The Monday Night Messiah gimmick. Yeah, and stuff like that. Is it similar to that kind of like old?
Almost. No, but it's not quite stained glass. It's more post Byzantine era.
It's like the stone work. You know, the mosaic kind of tile type thing.
Not quite. I see. And I make it. That's the Byzantine era.
So then you got kind of like we're talking 700, AD to
circa
1200 AD here.
I'm gonna show you. We're gonna have to whip out painting later and show you. Yeah, the style that he's going for. It's ridiculous. Yes. It's almost like Eastern, definitely Constantinian.
Yeah, like the Constantinople type. The Holy Roman Empire and all that kind of stuff. See, we get historical in here.
We getting historical. We getting religious historical on your ass.
Yeah, the stuff. After the Roman Empire split,
which makes
and then
perfect
you have the
sense.
Byzantines.
Because the Redeemer is not Roman. He does not have the Roman Catholic or Christian roots. He's got more of the.
Well, he's Eastern, Bulgarian, right?
Exactly. So he's got more of the Orthodox, and then pre-Orthodox goes back to the Byzantine, the Constantinople.
Yeah, I'm looking it up the map right here. Where it's literally right next to Turkey. There you go, bro. So,
Oh yeah.
Wait, we're talking.
Hit me with that geography, Jonathan. Hit me with.
Oh yeah, I got the map. I got Google Maps right here on the second monitor. For everyone, you can't see it, but you're just gonna have to trust me.
You're gonna have to trust Jonathan, okay? I trust Jonathan on this, okay? We're ready. I'm loving it. The shirt is fantastic. So there you go. And there will be another shirt pointed out at the end of this show. I mark my words. Bell rings, okay? Immediately they lock up. You got a power struggle arising. Just a bunch of strikes, kicks by Miro. Huge clothesline by Hobbs. Nice leg lariat by Miro. Then a quick cover. So Miro's going to go with the footwork, and Hobbs is going to go with clotheslines. They're going to try to attack each other with strikes, but when it comes down to it, they're very evenly matched. So they have to change up gears, and the experience is going to go to Miro here.
That's a theme that went throughout this whole match. The kind of how evenly, physically they are, right?
Right. It's going to come down to experience. And here we go. You got Splash in the corner. By Hobbs, okay? Before that, he hits this belly to back, looked good. And he was on the attack, was Powerhouse Hobbs. Then he misses a splash and goes over the top rope. I see a lot of misses of attacks resulting in the aggressor going over the top corner onto the floor. That happened throughout the night. I don't know if you noticed that, but
I did not. But
it seemed to be a theme.
You have a keen eye.
Yeah. So he's out. Okay. Miro follows up with that somersault splash, slams Hobbs into the steps. Okay. Miro rams Hobbs into the apron and the barricade. This was great. Okay. Check this out. You got a lady behind Hobbs. Okay. Tell me if this lady wasn't a freaking super plug. She's just like, she's kind of like freaking out a little bit, but she's going, just repeating, hang in there, Hobbs, hang in there, Hobbs, hang in there, Hobbs, hang in there, Hobbs. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Like, she wasn't like, come on, Hobbs, you can do this. She was just like, kind of like trying to avoid getting hurt, but at the same time, just kind of saying, hang in there, Hobbs. I don't know. I'm thinking plug.
It's kind of a strange.
Strange.
It's going back to those Chicago fans really believe it, and
that's
they're like, it's like a rock sitting in there for like a Rocky movie. And come on, just hang in there, get through the rounds.
Truth is stranger than fiction. Yes, yeah. Jonathan, and this is definitely seemed like one of those cases where she was like, for real, trying to listen, you got this, Powerhouse, you can do this. Okay, like, yeah. So, you got they're back in the ring, okay? Hobbs with a running attack to bring Miro down into a waist lock. Just that simple and effective waist lock. Big men can do this. Then it transitions into a headlock, okay? Yeah. Eventually Miro breaks out, okay? And they just get into a huge strike fest. I swear I whipped out a sandwich from from Jersey Mike's that I had from earlier that, the day, and I had it in the fridge. I whipped that out. I started eating the sandwich. I'm eating popcorn. All the while, they're just striking each other.
Meat.
I'm loving it.
The crowd chanting meat and all this kind of stuff.
Could this be any more? Yeah. Could this be any more fitting? They're chanting meat. I'm eating meat. I'm eating sandwich. I'm eating
Arby's that meat. Arby's is just going crazy over the amount of meat.
Oh yeah, Arby's is like, we got the meats. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should have a sponsorship like Miro and Hobbs and Arby's.
This was a hell of a match to eat food to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you hungry.
So it made you hungry. So, but Miro wins this strike fest. Big slam though by Hobbs, a big lariat by Miro, kicking a stomp. He applies the game over camel clutch. Hobbs though lifts Miro up, slams him in the back of the corner. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hits a great spine buster for a near fall. This is the first time I'm thinking, okay, Hobbs is actually doing things to Miro that most people cannot do. Hobbs goes for the camo clutch, though. Probably a big mistake, trying to do something that Miro is known for. Miro is able to avoid it quickly.
He slides out underneath it and everything.
Yeah.
The announcer's like, well, he knows the way to get out of it.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you didn't even have to say that. You could have, because it's pretty obvious. You don't try to apply a finishing submission on a guy who's like, he's going to know how to break out of it more likely, unless like, you really feel confident in humiliating him. You don't do that.
Yeah.
So Miro hits that spine buster, then applies that game over camel clutch, and it was over. Second time, Hobbs had to tap out. It was a great match. And Hobbs extends his hand. Miro accepts it. Hobbs, though, there's a little bit of tension. And then, of course, Hobbs attacks. That's great. Setting up for another match. And then, of course, what do we get? We get Miro's wife comes out. Okay. Big pop. Yeah. Big pop.
They didn't say what her name's going to be, so it's not going to be Lana, but
it's not going to be Lana.
Could be CJ Perry as she goes by.
Yeah, clearly they're going to go. It seems like they're going right off the bat, kind of where WWE left off, in that it's already been kind of established that she is not Bulgarian or she's not from Russia. She is his wife.
She didn't have any accent. She just talked and normal.
I love, though, the Miro being disappointed. Like, why are you trying to help me? Like, you should not be doing this. It's setting up a story for Miro. I think Miro's actually finally got something he can sink his teeth into.
Yeah, I mean, her coming out plays along, because when Miro came back this time from injury or whatever he was sidelined for, he said he he forsake his God, he forsaked his wife, and stuff. So she's been forsaken. So
she's been forsaken.
So I don't know what that means. Maybe it just means he walks around the house and won't talk to her, or
right?
Because they're still married.
Like, I'm a little annoyed with you right now.
Yeah, isn't technically she's still married to Bobby Lashley storyline wise?
Bobby Lashley maybe could benefit from making a switch, but I haven't seen Bobby Lashley in some time. But yeah, that was
an interesting, change there. It could help Miro but I think you're right. Going, it is developing. He's got a purpose and a direction now, which is
exactly. Good. Yeah, that's good. Hopefully he stays on TV. That's what everybody wants.
So what Let's I noticed in this match is one thing is like the physicality. What they were doing really well was showing like every move they did looked more powerful. It looked
I love it.
When you'd have like a knee strike into them or something, or like into the gut or something. Like really just like it made it look like they were really hitting each other hard.
Absolutely. Everything sounds bigger in the arena. I mean, this is the reason why promoters and like love big men in wrestling. Okay. It's not like just about the looks and it's like where they're trying to fool you. It really does make for bigger and better like effects. Okay. That is the reason why, if you do it right, you can't have two big men that don't know what the hell they're doing. These are two men that know what they're doing and they get to take advantage of everything they do. If you got a big dude applying a waist lock on another dude, that's going to look legit.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't need to have some sort of MMA, UFC background. Okay.
Yeah.
If he has you in a waist lock and he's like a 300-pound dude, there's no freaking bullshit counter to that. Okay. Yeah. He's going to lock on you and he's going to fall down on you and that's it.
It's meat.
It's meat. Okay. That's why it's big. It's larger than life and it works. Okay.
Yeah.
Not saying that it always does. And I'm not saying that the smaller guys don't have something incredible to offer. In fact, they do. I think we've established that in the last like several decades, but yeah, this is what, this is the benefit of big dudes. So
yeah,
let's leave it at that.
And just so you know, I did pull up the Miro, the prophecy shirt is it's called. I got to get this shirt.
I have to get this shirt.
Cool. Yeah. With the whole, like, the halo around the head.
Oh, yeah.
And the frame that he's in is actually, he's breaking it. So this.
Yeah. He's breaking the frame. Interesting. Oh God. Yeah. That I smell merchandise sales. I smell merchandise sales in the works. Let's go to the fifth match. Statlander. Okay. Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho for the TBS title. Okay.
Maybe the weakest match on the card after it played out.
It was a cool match. And yes, the weakest finish of the match, probably to me, it was the most disappointing because I actually had some investment in this match and they were doing everything right. And now I'm like a little bit perplexed. I'm a little annoyed and I kind of want to see this match. I want to see the things occur. I do not want this to play out too much more. But anyways, let's go.
This is the first match on the card where completely got the ending wrong. So personally, I'm like, ugh.
Right. And it's not even like, okay, if you can prove me wrong, if you can do something that I didn't see coming and make it look good, I'm wrong. That's great. I don't care. But when you do something like this and ruin what was so clearly like something they can go with, and I'm just sick and tired of it. I mean, I want to listen in and see what people say about Toni Storm. I'm sick of hearing about it. She is not developed. She is not where she needs to be. She
went from NXT, like she was not really even on the main show that much. So it's not like she was like a superstar or something.
She was like more of a, just kind of still green, kind of taking the benefits of like calling back to certain wrestlers that have influenced her throughout her life. She has the tools. She has the look. She is using things from her. Now she has a character. So people are saying, oh, this is a good thing now because now she's actually developing her own character. She's got a character, but she's not developing shit. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is not good. This is the perfect example of when a character is going awry and you can't, you need to fix this quick. Okay. Because yeah, she's got a great look. Yeah, she's got a character, but this isn't working. Okay.
And now you
This
got
is
heels versus heels. Like, it's like, what's the storyline
even worse.
here?
Even worse when you got this going on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get down into it. Okay. Saraya walks out with Soho to the ring. She's flashing the belt. This is good. I'm thinking, okay, Ruby Soho is going to be pissed because she wants the belt, just like Saraya. Bell rings. They lock up. Okay. Chris with a hip toss. They lock up again. Soho throws her down. A couple nip ups. Okay. We got that going on. Like 3 nip ups before a thrust kick. And then a running knee strike to Soho, goes outside. Chris slams Soho into the barricade. This was pretty cool. Saraya calls Chris a stupid girl. So Chris chases her around the ring, right into a missile drop kick by Soho off the apron. And then she thrusts Chris Statlander's head into the barricades with her head scissors. That was a cool spot. Then she's thrown back in the ring. She's kept on the bottom rope, is Chris, and the pressure's applied to the neck. Saraya gets involved while the ref is behind. This is definitely one of those matches where the ref is a moron. Okay. Yeah. Just let's keep that in mind. It will come up again in the match, in another match. Pin attempts by Soho. Chris with the snapmare, but Soho right back with a shoulder tackle. Then to the corner with the boot to the head. Big insecurity by Chris to Soho. Both are down. Elbows to Soho, uppercuts, a power slam for the pin attempt. Soho hits that Saito suplex that she's known for. Big backbreaker by Chris into the Falcon Arrow. Another attempt. She's a big girl. I mean, she is big beauty.
Large.
Yeah,
yeah.
She's a big
she almost
beauty.
Was as big as
Rhea Ripley
or Jade.
Jade Cargill.
Cargill. Yes,
Cargill,
thank you.
Yeah, Cargill. Yeah,
because she's been off of TV for a month or so now. I've forgotten her name.
Starting to lose the name. Yeah.
Yep.
I miss Jade Cargill.
I do. She should be competing against. She's the best talent they have physically.
Yeah, she's really good. Soho does well. Chris hits the crossbody. Actually, no. I believe that was Chris Statlander with the crossbody. Big avalanche power slam into a near fall. That looked good. She goes for a fireman's carry. It's countered into a poison rana by Ruby Soho. Looked brutal. And then that DDT off the rope, what looked like could have been a monkey flip. She bounces her back off the springboard into that DDT. Looked great. Okay. And then hits this low hurricane, head spiked into the mat. It looked sick. Blue Thunder Bomb by Chris, another near fall. Chris goes to the middle rope. Then Saraya again distracts Chris Statlander. So Soho can hit her no future kick and the destination unknown. I thought that was going to be it. Yeah. Soho nearly attacking the ref at one point because she's so pissed. She thought it was a 2. Soho grabs the spray can. Okay. Saraya distracts the ref. The bottle gets taken away from her by Storm. This is when it gets real stupid. Storm comes out of nowhere, grabs the can, looks at it like she's never seen it before, maybe thinking it's hairspray. Okay. And Soho's like, oh. Meanwhile, you got a freaking superstar, Chris Statlander, right behind you, hitting the Sunday Night Fever. Okay. So what the story is here is that, Storm, if she hasn't, clearly you can't even have the mind. You can't even have Ruby Soho be confused as to which side she needs to be on. Her and Saraya should be on the exact same page, being like, let's kick this crazy chick out of Outcast now.
Well, I guess it's implied that she's already out.
Yeah, she's
not wearing the colors anymore. She's right.
She's not even, but they haven't established it. And okay, is she part of the Outcasts? Why haven't they already beaten her out of it? Why haven't they already? They're gonna attack her. They have to do something to this.
Yeah, it is weird. They're saying and I don't get. One of the things I don't get is why is she coming out and interfering in Ruby Soho's match?
Right.
Her beef I thought would have been with Saraya.
Exactly. Her beef's with Saraya. Mm-hmm. What are you doing messing with this woman's match? I was thinking that Ruby Soho was going to lose and it was going to be Saraya who maybe inadvertently did something to mess with the match, and whole time leading Soho to be like, well, you're trying to keep the spotlight because you got that nice, beautiful big belt on your waist and you don't want it to happen to me. But that's not even close to the point with this match. There's nothing that could tell me that Saraya wasn't trying to do everything in her power to ensure that Soho was going to win that title.
Oh yeah, she was definitely on her side. And Tony Storm coming out. I mean, she came out and she acted face, so she's doing
Face
a character
stupid.
change.
Yeah, face stupid.
Yeah,
which is not
and
a
the
good
last
look
time,
for me. But anyways,
last time when she was before she joined the Outcast and she was a face and she had the title match, didn't win. I forget who was the champion at that time, but they changed her to a heel because she wasn't very good as a face. She was losing momentum. So I don't know. I think it goes back to your point of she's not developed all the way yet. I don't see this as a good move.
No, I'm not happy with it. Okay. And until she is developed, I'm going to keep, harking on this. I'm going to just keep going on this with this because I'm not happy with it. I loved Toni Storm. I've always loved her look. I've always loved her, like her move set. We all were just waiting to give her some sort of gimmick, some sort of direction. WWE. I'm telling you, this is reminding me of WWE type stuff where they kind of humiliate her and make her look kind of silly. This is making her look silly. Yeah. So what are we doing? So yeah, I think Saraya looks great with that belt, by the way. So
yeah. I mean, she should be the champion for a while.
I love it. And I thought Ruby Soho looked great.
Not because she deserves it. I don't care about that at all. Just because she is the top name right now. And I want to see what she can do. She's
a top draw. I think she was doing excellent in that last the match and All Out. So yeah. At this point, now we're getting into like the top of the card, the heavy hit, like the real crazy matches that we're going to talk about. A lot of this stuff you can kind of like go back and see. So I kept it pretty tight with some of the key moments in these matches. You got 6 match. I'm always going to think Daniel Bryan, but Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks in the strap match.
Mm-hmm.
To
me, the entrance is the biggest highlight.
Yeah. Both had pretty good entrances. Danielson comes out. It's so corny. It was corny 20 years ago, and it's still corny, but it's awesome. It's funny because the whole song's leading up to that. It's the final countdown. Everyone's shouting.
It worked. It worked perfectly.
I liked it though. Yeah, it does work. I mean, the crowd is crazy. I liked it when in Forbidden Door when I almost feel like the music was edited so that the final countdown, that chant was mentioned more, came out more. They did it better with the timing of the placement of the song versus this, but whatever. It still works.
Before we get into the details of the match, there is one dynamic that comes to mind is that Danielson is in a kind of an awkward place right now, where Blackpool Combat Club is definitely a heel faction. They're doing the dirty to everyone. Like they are not out helping anyone, things like that.
Yeah.
But Danielson here is helping Ricky Dragon Steamboat to, so he doesn't get his ass whooped again. But
here's the gray area. Yes. BCC, is a very gray faction.
Yeah.
So
they definitely skirt the line.
They skirt the line. Now, when it comes to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, you got to think that all the guys of the Blackpool Comic Club would respect this guy. So yes, they're heels, but they're also going to respect certain people.
They're not going to talent, in a sense.
They respect certain talent. They respect certain legends. They walk a line. They're very much like an in-between faction. They are not a clear-cut heel faction or a clear-cut face. Not even close.
They're definitely
closer
not
to a heel faction. They're not face. Now, when you got a guy like
not completely heel.
No, Daniel Bryan. Okay, this guy he comes off like he is their dragon. He is like he is the top wrestler arguably in the world. Okay, he's kind of on another level, compared to anybody. But one thing I'll say is that he is definitely a dick. Okay, he is an asshole. Okay, make no mistake about it.
He fits in the ring, that club pretty well.
He really is a good heel. Okay, he fits really well in that club because when you see him, the way he works and the things that he does, he works like a heel. Especially, and he talks like a heel. He's really at one point he goes, "I'm going to kick your fucking head into Ricky Starks." Okay, that is not no face type comments. Okay, he is a heel. All right, he just appreciates the crowd. He respects legends, and he's the best. So he really doesn't have to do much to do it. He's not a chick. He's the opposite of a chicken shit heel. Okay.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I like in AEW is like,
Yeah.
Blackpool Combat Club as a stable is not going to back down from a fight.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. Mox is like kind of a heel, but again, he's like, they don't do chicken shit tactics. They are a beast ass, back it up kind of a faction. So that's why
it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. And that's why they come off as faces, because they don't need to act like a bunch of assholes. They're a bunch of dicks. Sixth match, Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks. This strap match, Danielson has the strap on, but Starks does a run around the ring before strapping in. He then just goes right into attacking Bryan, hits him with the weight belt, hits him with the buckle, exposing Bryan. Kisses some random lady. Did you see that? Some random lady comes out. She kisses the hand. I don't know what the hell that was all about. A lot of interaction between the wrestlers and the fans, probably because these are some of their old friends from back in the day. You got to remember, and this is, to talk about it. Another reason why I feel like there wasn't so much like worry about the lack of let's say a CM Punk is you got to remember all these guys are coming from Chicago at one point or another.
Yeah.
All these guys are from Ring of Honor, like to a certain extent. Guys like Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, Claudio. Okay. All these guys have been through. They're just as Chicago heavy as CM Punk. CM Punk just happens to be the spokesman for Chicago.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, the Stark, when he has the advantage, he gets the strap on. And they're just attacking each other outside. Chokes Bryan, whips Bryan. Everything you can think of for a strap match is happening with chokes and whips. Bryan, smacks Starks in the back with some heavy, loud strap shots. Starks gets busted open, He fires back with a lariat. Whips exchange. That's what's going on here. Whips exchange between Bryan and Starks. Bryan wins the exchange, kicks the hell out of Starks. You got Big Bill coming out to the aid of Starks. I was almost hoping Enzo Amore was going to come out. Real One was going to make an appearance.
Oh, yeah. That's strut. I'm all about it.
Yeah. And Dragon, the Dragon Steamboat to the aid of Bryan. You got Starks tossed onto Bill outside. And Bryan leaps to both men. Back in the ring, spear by Starks, near fall after getting attacked some more. Bryan hits the Busaiku knee to Starks. Then Bryan says, of course, I'm going to kick your head in. Does so into the lapel block. Starks breaks the arms away. He's able to do that. So what does Bryan do? He uses a strap to wrap around the neck of Starks and then basically puts him to sleep.
When the forehead veins are bulging out.
I like that. I like the way he sold it. He did it right. If he's going to do it, he better make sure it looks legit. And he did. I really appreciate the way Starks, took the L. Nothing against both, nothing against him for losing. I think it was fine. I think he did okay. He still has a lot he still needs that win though. This was supposed to be a CM Punk Ricky Starks feud.
Yeah.
This was supposed to either cap it off or take it to the next level. Either way, he's dealing with, he was supposed to be pushed in this storyline. And while he does look like a strong man in defeat, he still needs more push.
Yeah, I mean, he was just starting to be taken serious.
Right.
And I think the heel turn for him was excellent.
Yeah.
Not just because he's a bad guy wrestler now, but, the fact that, he needs the mic. I mean, he's Rock Jr. He's the Rock Jr. in a lot of ways, but...
He's like the Rock Jr. Yes. He's got the looks as far as the star power and the mic skills. But
the Rock
and the ring ability.
Yeah, the Rock. I mean, it's like when Rock left Nation, and he was dressing in the flashy clothes. He was coming out there giving the promos and everything. I think there's a lot of parallels in there, even before MJF called him the Pebble or whatever.
There's a lot of honesty coming out of him,
Yeah.
And that's what we appreciate.
Yeah.
A lot of honesty, yes. So we got seventh match, Shibata and Kingston versus Claudio, Wheeler Yuta. At this point, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I got to make sure I have enough energy to watch the last two matches because I know where this is going. After this match, you got Kenny Omega. You still got the FTR match. I mean, you got a lot to go. You got 4 more matches. But Claudio.
Yeah, long pay-per-view.
Long pay-per-view. Kingston comes out wearing a shirt that says Claudio sucks eggs in orange. Nothing else. Just Claudio sucks eggs. Nothing else. Like, what is that?
There's a reason this guy is my favorite.
Yeah. Claudio sucks eggs.
Which he probably does. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Is that on AEW merch?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to find out.
Go find out for me, please, Jonathan. Shibata, Yuta, they start this thing off. Shibata with the advantage on Yuta. So Claudio's tagged in. Kingston's tagged in. So Claudio's like, yeah, no, fuck that. Goes and tags Yuta, brings him back in. Kingston nevertheless proceeds to attack Claudio on the outside. They're brawling on the outside. This match is all chaos. Nice STO.
Is he sucking eggs on the outside?
Yeah, right. He's got eggs like just shoved into his face. Claudio hits a running uppercut to Shibata, who returns the favor with a running kick, then a running drop kick. Triangle choke applied by Shibata to Claudio, who hits a power bomb, lifts up Shibata to break the hold out like that. Tag to Yuta, who hits the fastball special splash near fall. A big back fist by Shibata, who then like applies this variated leg lock, and then hits an ankle lock on Claudio at the same time. That was a cool little spot. Claudio's trying to he attacks Shibata, who kind of lands funny and still has the leg lock applied on Yuta. So it only made it look more like pain was being brought on by Yuta. I liked that. Mm-hmm. By any means necessary is the BCC. There's a tag to Kingston, though, who hits the DDT on Yuta, the machine gun chops, the exploder. Claudio comes in with the kick, a neutralizer to Kingston for a near fall. Okay, this match is going into fourth gear, but eventually you get a back fist and a Northern Lights bomb by Kingston, back fist to Yuta, but then a big uppercut by Claudio, which results in the victory. That big uppercut out of nowhere, it looked legit. Okay,
yeah, it's a move that he is really dialed in. Really
Claudio's a beast, so you cannot never take that away. So if you forget that, he'll remind you. Okay, and this was exactly what I kind of saw coming, which was you got to win now for the BCC. All BCC members win tonight.
Yep.
And when they won this, when Danielson won, and then this happened, I was like, okay, it's really happening. This is a BCC night right here.
And they all won with physicality too.
Really
what the BCC is all about. So good on the story.
No cheating.
Yeah.
All legit. Just badass. They run this company. They are the top faction in the business right now.
They need to put some belts on them or something.
They just put the AEW International title on Jon Moxley.
A
title that has been defended 31 times. Honestly, Jonathan, this is where we're going with this. That title is we'll get to it some more, but yes, that title has now been defended more. It has a little more power than it did before. And
it doesn't have the name power yet. Jon Moxley
doesn't have the name power. Moxley's now giving it the name power. So the people that have been watching it know about it, but now it's on the hands of Mox. Okay, so that makes it more powerful. The other thing is that I didn't think about this until this match. There was an international match. In WCW, there was an international title. Okay, it was called the international title, and it was the title that it's kind of like you go around, and it's essentially what this title is. The only difference is it was the big gold belt. They made it look cooler. So when Rick Rude came out wearing that title, Sting and anybody else who had the WCW World title was like, well, shit, I want that title. So they actually made that international title into the World Championship. Just like that. So you just got to watch out for that type of stuff. It was the main event of the night, and it served as the main event. So right now, yes, they have the titles. Yes, you should. Claudio is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, which again, that may not be as big of a deal, but he's still the world champion, and he's still Claudio. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody taking that title off him. Wheeler Yuta was the pure champion. Maybe put something on him, or maybe put tag titles on Claudio.
Yeah, maybe just stop having the BCC beat him up all the time. Did you see that promo that Claudio gave on Collision? It was near the beginning of the show where he's like punishing Yuta and beating him up and hitting him during it. He's like, we beat this guy up all the time.
Yeah, he's their whipping boy.
Getting back up and taking it.
He's their whipping boy. He is their whipping boy. He's their guy that takes the L whenever they need him to take the L.
Honestly, I think this might have been. I mean, I don't remember a lot of Claudio promos just because they're usually not that exciting.
Right.
But this is now burnt into my brain. This promo, I will always remember it now.
I like that. I gotta check that one out again.
It's really, it's silly. It really
I'm going back to that.
He's like beating up Yuta while giving up a promo, and Yuta's not fighting back and just taking his punishment.
Of course, I love it. He's
I remember a while back
worth.
when he's like, "I love this little bastard."
I love it. They need to put a cruiserweight title on him. Like, well, we call it cruiserweight, whatever. They need him. They need him to. He should be like. And it's fine. They need to. Maybe they want. I mean, obviously, he's getting more exposure than most guys do. So great on Wheeler. But if they're gonna make him take him seriously, either there's the pure championship, there's the X Division title. Okay, if you really want to go there, and there's the junior heavyweight title in New Japan. There's a couple other titles to look out for. But yes, he's clearly a junior heavyweight. That's all he is. I mean, that's what he is. And that's fine. That's fine. You don't need to worry about him becoming anything more. He's not the future, okay, or anything like that, outside of anywhere other than that, and maybe the tag team division. And that's okay.
It's good for that stable. I mean, they've got a variety of body types and styles and things like that.
That's okay. So maybe one day they'll bring in a guy who's younger, who probably is their monster. And that would be the future right there for the heavyweight division. That probably should be the case. They should bring in a guy who's going to be a big dude who's eventually being prepped to be the next heavyweight champion. Mm-hmm. I mean, Takeshita would have been a perfect.
It sure seemed like they were going that way for a hot second.
Yeah, he would have been perfect candidate.
They still can realign. I mean, has there been a fallout between Blackpool Combat Club and Don Callis family? So
not really.
Still, the door's open.
Yeah, the door is still open for that. So yeah, I would say also a Yota Tsuji. I would say go back and see that guy. The guy is definitely, we're gonna see him face.
From somebody who was in, you've really got me into New Japan and that kind of stuff. And I'm assuming he's from New Japan.
Oh yeah, he's from New Japan.
Great, but still unfamiliar with them. But enjoyed it. Enjoyed it, from a fan perspective of, it was good. Yeah.
He's going to be facing Will Ospreay coming up in the next couple weeks.
In New Japan?
In New Japan, yeah. So
okay, well, I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, go check that out.
You've gotten me into it, Chris.
How can you not? Yeah. When you're into it, you're in. So you got, you got that going on. Keep an eye out. Okay, let's go into the 8th match. Kenny Omega, Konosuke Takeshita. Okay, this was probably my favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, just a lot of good stuff.
If not favorite, it was the one I was definitely watching the closest.
Yeah, I don't know if there was anything else or anything else that we've talked about that could tell me that, well, wait a minute, what about that other? We just said that other match was the better. I haven't said this is the best match yet. Have you? Until this match?
No, I think
I just want to make sure.
Honestly, I think this was the most important match of the night.
Most important match? That makes sense. Best match? I would say so. The only other match I could think of that really got me was the last match. Yeah. The International Championship match. That's it.
Yeah.
A lot of it perfectly well, and it's funny too, because we didn't know how this card was going to be set up. And I think they set it up quite well in terms of importance and build. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one was this was your surprise finish on this one. So.
Oh yeah. And we saw it coming, but it doesn't even matter. Even if you see it coming, it's still kind of hard to believe it when you see it for real.
Yeah. I tweeted this guy's got my attention,
Yeah.
So he's ready. I mean, we'll see what happens in the next month if the crowd adopts him or if he just kind of flounders.
Oh, I think he's so in it. Like, one of the things that just calls out in this match that I loved is that I mean, the guy does not speak that great English. He can't really do things that most people like English speakers do in an English speaking audience or like crowd. But what he does, he mocks Kenny Omega, does like this, and the crowd gets pissed. Like automatically, they're pissed, and he hits, his move. He hits I believe it was a running boot. That's good stuff right there because he doesn't have to do much to piss the crowd off. And if he's doing that, that means they're invested. Like they definitely see him as a threat.
Yeah, I think they could do some interesting things with him.
Yeah.
Get like not Don Callis, but that he's his manager, but get another character beside him, like a translator, like a small guy who's obviously not any kind of wrestler,
right?
And like have some promos, them going out to restaurants and stuff, and like him just being a jerk to everyone. But this guy's got to translate it.
Exactly, that'd be great. That'd be magic. See, now that's a hell of an idea. Now that's kind of reminding me of like what they're doing with Shinsuke Nakamura. So, and that's a good thing. They should be doing that for the Japanese wrestlers and any wrestler that like has struggles with English. Give them a translator. Not all. I mean, there's going to be certain times where you don't need to do it, but I mean, yeah, it would be even great if it was like some like timid lady that speaks English and has to translate for this big asshole.
Yeah,
that'd be funny too. Or a small dude. It doesn't. I mean, it would still be funny. But yeah, he'd be like, "Yes, he told you to piss off." And get out of here before he slams your head into the table. Something. I
got another idea, even like to further that. What if the translator has like a little bit of a comedy aspect to it? So like Takeshita pushes the plate off the table and looks pissed, and then the translator's like, he says he did not like the food.
He did not like the food. Food not so good. Not that good.
And obviously Takeshi's saying something, and you can tell that he's cussing her and stuff like that. And he's just like, translating. He's like, Takeshita says he did not enjoy it, but thank you anyways.
Yeah, this is a lost in translation scenario that we got going on here, and I love it. He's like speaking all kinds of stuff, and you got Bill Murray going, that's all he said? Just just intensity. Return with intensity. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, something, it doesn't have to be this, but something along this line. I need personality from him. It can't all be Don Callis,
Can't be all Don Callis. No. And I like that. And if you want to give him personality, he's got to be speaking his language. That's where he's most natural. So there you go. Shinsuke. I don't know if you saw the promos with Shinsuke talking to the camera and talking about Seth. I mean, this promo work leading up to that match was impressive.
Yeah, that's why the speculation is that is it Shinsuke's time again, for a championship.
It damn sure is, as far as I'm concerned. He needs to win a title eventually. I think he needs the title. I think he should be the one to win the world title. I know that Damian Priest is kind of set up for it with that Money in the Bank, but he needs to be the one.
Yeah, but he's also a heel, so you never know.
What I was just thinking of is a Rhea Ripley thing going on here where she's a heel, but we all respect her because we know she's put in the work and she's still going to win as a heel.
I don't care about the work. I just think she's entertaining as hell.
Well, that's what I mean. The work, the entertaining work. She's been entertaining us. So we're
she's come a long way.
She's come a long way. So we appreciate that. We like watching her. We don't give a shit if she's a heel. We like her. So give her the damn belt. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what the belt means. Is all it is saying she's getting more airtime.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's the top seller right now, pretty much.
So give it to her. Yeah. We don't care if she's a face or a heel. We can boo her all. If she messes with the girls we like, we can boo. That doesn't mean we don't want to see her. No. Yeah. So they lock up. I mean, look, this match has got back suplex by Omega on his head. A lot of hitting on the head, a lot of spikes. Okay. Omega with a drop on Takeshita, then a moonsault off. I mean, just classic Omega stuff. Indian Deathlock applied. I liked it when he did that to Takeshita. I like the way Takeshita gets out of it. He gouges the eyes to break the hold. A beautiful clothesline to Takeshita. You're going to see a lot of great lariats. Wheelbarrow slam to the turnbuckle pad by Takeshita. Brain buster just sick after sick move by Takeshita. He's a vicious dude. Takes out a chair. This was the second time a real stupid move by a ref. What is this, comedic stuff? Ref takes the chair and goes, no chair, win clean.
And he gives him the little bow thing too,
Yeah, you are like, you're disrespecting his intelligence, okay, with these kinds of comments, okay?
Well,
but
maybe
it's
the language barrier or something,
Beautiful, though. Takeshi's like, oh, okay, I didn't know. Okay, so what happens in the ring? The ref is giving him a lecture on this shit. Meanwhile, Don Callis is taking out, stacking the chairs.
That's fantastic.
Makes it into a great little moment. I like that. Okay.
It's like, oh, you think I'm stupid? Okay. Well,
yeah. Oh, you think I'm stupid? Yeah. How dumb is the ref on that? But it still is fun. As soon as the chairs are all stacked up, Takeshi right on the swanton. Perfect. Okay. Then Mox Omega, the running kick, hell of a blue thunder bomb this guy has, okay, for a near fall. Senton off the middle rope. Takeshita goes for the back to the a back senton from the top rope, lands on Omega's knees. Okay, Omega with the double axe handles. Takeshita misses the knee, goes over the top. This is the second time that I've mentioned that somebody's going to miss something in the corner, going to flip over, and then that sets up Omega for this tope suicida, right? Missile drop kick by Omega, Snapdragon, and another big poison Rana, near fall, V-trigger missed, Germans by both, and both of them land on their feet. You got Omega with the knee strike, another big clothesline by Takeshita, the power bomb, then the knee by Omega, near fall, V-triggers, goes for the one-winged angel, it's avoided. Okay, nice package tombstone by Takeshita. Then a nice German near fall. Headbutt by Omega, strikes. Omega attempts the one wing off the middle rope. That's not going to happen for the Avalanche. Takeshita counters into an Avalanche blue thunder bomb. Looked vicious.
That was vicious for sure.
Love that. Yes. This guy has these big impact moves and can hit. He's just like, he's got the V trigger. He's got the clothesline. I mean, he's just as dangerous as anybody else in the ring. And then a big knee by Takeshi for another near fall. Callis tries to stab Omega with the screwdriver.
It goes right through the ring.
It was nuts. Definitely a good moment.
What if he had hit the support structure and it like bounces off?
Yeah, it's a good thing he knew where to hit because that's careful. Exactly. He had to be careful. So, but that's just enough distraction. For Omega, he does hit the V trigger, but then a big German by Takeshita, another, and then a near strike, another near fall. So what does Takeshi do? He exposes his knee pad, hits that last V trigger, and it's over. I mean,
there you go. And Nigel and company are hyping it up, saying how brutal the knees are. I must say they've been doing an excellent job of really like hyping up what's going on in the ring. Yeah,
the details in the ring, what matters. I appreciate that.
Like telling me like the fact that he's pulling his pad down now, and if he hits this move, they're directing me that this is a finisher, and so it's kind of helpful. It is.
Yeah. I don't know if we saw. I mean, maybe I'm forgetting, but did Takeshita at all sell the knee, kind of hurting him after the pinfall? Because by exposing it, he's sacrificing some of himself in order to deliver the pain.
Honestly, I was so focused on Don Callis afterwards, like doing like he's almost in disbelief, but he's like, yes, we did it.
And so what would make a lot of sense if they even have if they really want to go the distance is have Takeshi kind of have his knee wrapped, okay, or iced, okay, in a promo. He's icing the knee for like what he did to Omega. But it was a sacrifice worth the worth it. That was worth it in the victory that took place. This is how far he's willing to go to get the win is Takeshita.
Yeah, that's good. And you think my knee's bad? Look at Omega's face or something like that.
Get a picture of Omega with a big swollen face. No, that'd be
exactly.
It would be great. Final match: Orange Cassidy.
No. There's the Bullet Club.
Yeah. My bad. Because I wrote so little on this, I'm not even gonna. I wanted to skip it.
It's because it was a good match, but there was nothing out of the ordinary of what you would expect with these two teams.
My bad.
They did all their moves. They did all the stuff. Like it wasn't bad, but it was just there was.
I have nothing. It was okay. We're about to get into this. Okay. 9th match, FTR and Young Bucks versus the Bullet Club Gold. This is the one match I thought was out of place.
Yeah.
It was the rest. It had to have been like the sleeper match. It had to have been the take a rest match before the main event. That's becoming formulaic. You got to watch out for that because I'm telling you, I mean, it was a good match. Like you said, they did everything they needed to do. They hit the moves. The house was the story here. Chicago was not happy to see the Young Bucks, at least for a little bit. Chicago is the epitome of mark wrestling, mark audience. Okay, smart mark audience. Because guess what? They're all pissy. You can tell they're pissed, but at the same time,
from the first incidents with CM Punk,
right? But as soon as the Young Bucks start doing some good stuff, they all kind of like stay on the same page and cheer the Young Bucks. It's like, oh yeah, we hate you, but we love what you just did.
Yeah, I mean,
like, okay,
game respects game,
Game respects game, yeah. So it's like, it's so obvious. It's a very fickle crowd, okay? And they're very vocal. So what you're going to get is this kind of mixed reaction, not just from two different sides, some people hating and loving Young Bucks. I'm talking people hating the Young Bucks, then literally switching their minds and saying, oh yeah, we love that though.
It's like a John Cena match or Kurt Angle, we're booing them at first and then at the end,
it's like hate fucking, Jonathan. It's like hate fucking is what it is, okay? It's like a bunch of people that like hate these guys, but at the same time, they can't help but love these guys.
Yeah,
okay?
that is true. I mean, it's hard not to respect them for their in-ring ability. So
yeah,
you can not respect them for their words. That's fine,
right.
Or their actions, but
their actions or their looks, whatever. But what they do in the ring, you got to kind of, unless you're Jim Cornette, you can't deny. Okay. Yeah. So
the only thing with this match that I think to me is even worth noting is after the ending, how FTR was kind of blaming, was it Nick Jackson? No, which I always get. Is it Matt or Nick, the taller one?
Matt's the one with the darker hair. Nick's the one with the lighter hair. Nick's the one that's a little bit smaller. Matt's the bigger one. Matt's kind of like the Matt. Matt's literally like the Matt Hardy, and Nick is like the Jeff.
So Matt Jackson, like you can see he's frustrated. He's kind of blaming himself, and then Dax and
they kind of, this is what I was going to go with this, Jonathan. Yeah. I feel like they're still, I guess because of where they were, they didn't want to have the cap off where they all shake hands, which is what we were kind of thinking it was going to happen. They're going to push this. They're going to keep this going a little bit longer. Yeah. What we're seeing here was interesting because Dax, they were kind of blaming each other or calling on themselves, but at the same time, you could tell they didn't give a shit that much. Like they were like, oh, kind of. If you would have, well, yeah. Like it was like they had just lost a football game, okay, at the Pee Wee division. Like,
yeah. That this wasn't really that important, but they know they should have won.
They know they should have won, but they're like, whatever. Let's take it to the next match. Yeah. I know that one point these guys are all going to come together. I think they're going to come together and have that victory, and then they can shake hands and be like, okay, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. What else can we do? That has to be it. Bullet Club Gold looked better anyways, as far as I'm going. Things I want to talk about is Jay White looked impressive. His speed, his ability, he was a beast in this match, okay? Mm-hmm. You got to keep an eye on him because he gives it his all. This guy is on another level. And Juice is loved by the crowd, okay? Everybody was freaking marking out for this guy. He's so over it. When he gets tagged in, he literally goes into Macho Man mode with his punches. Yeah. Okay, literally mimicking the Macho Man
because he's rock hard, man,
and his whole look. Yeah, because he's rock hard.
Makes everyone rock hard.
Yes, everybody was freaking just into
it. Marking out for him, and I love it
big time. Oh, I mean, he's perfect for this type of audience. Okay,
mm-hmm. He's not going to have a world championship, but he's going to be loved.
Yeah, mid card at best, unless something crazy.
Mid card champion.
Yeah. I mean, that's what because he is a Mark wrestler. I mean, like he's the type of guy that you could see in any middle city based promotion.
Yeah,
that he's probably worked and everybody's
he's their top guy.
That's Juice. Yeah, he's anyways, he kind of reminds me of a Joey Janela, to be quite honest with you, like a bigger and better Joey Janela.
That's he's already gotten way above him.
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he's definitely surpassed him. So a quadruple at one point though, they're all in the ring and you get quadruple atomic drops into sharpshooters by FTR and Young Bucks.
The comical kind of,
comical. Stuff. Coordinated. I'm okay with it.
Stuff, but it is Young Bucks match. They do a lot of that.
Yeah, and they are the sharpshooters. So big homage to Bret Hart. Everybody liked that. Dax catapulted though into the post by Juice. In the ring, Dax is isolated until he dodges this cannonball by Juice. He makes a tag to Nick Jackson. The crowd's pissed until he hits that Huracan and an arm drag, getting 2 men, over, and people are clapping for him. There's a lot of work together between FTR and Young Bucks. They're doing a lot of good together.
Yeah, sharing moves and stuff like that.
Exactly. Sharing moves. They're swapping. They're working together well.
Dax doing a super kick was
there you go. Dax doing a super kick.
And Wheeler did one too, I think, and just I can see why Dax doesn't go on the top rope because he can't get his leg up above his head.
You got a magic killer being done between the two, between like Matt and like Dax. I don't know, or Cat. You know what I mean? It's all mixed up. So there's a lot. Point is there's a lot of chaos going on. Okay, which leads an opening for Jay White to hit a Blade Runner to Cash Wheeler. Okay, and then one of the guns pins him. I don't even know which gun got the pin.
The taller one, I think. What's his?
I don't even know.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. They look so much alike. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe they're pushing this along. They're giving Bullet Club Gold a little bit of credit because they've been putting on a lot of good work. I'm telling you, Jay White, eventually down the road, you're looking at a guy who's going to take it to another level. He's going to, this guy isn't like there for no reason.
Yeah, it does him well because the only knock against Bullet Club Gold right now, or at least, the 2 main guys here, not the Bang Bang Club, but just the Juice and Jay White, is that like they've got the hype. All the people who love, wrestling beyond AEW know about them, but they aren't well known. They don't have enough backstory. They don't have enough like oomph yet within AEW for the mainstream yet. And
exactly.
So I think it's good that,
and I don't think it is. Yeah, they don't. I don't think he's necessarily needed right now at that point. So they're holding on to him, keeping him kind of under wraps and building him at the same time until he's ready to be pushed to that kind of level because they don't need him right now.
Let's marinate a little bit. Let's simmer for a little bit. Build some flavorings.
I was going to say, I want to go back and look at his age. He's still fairly young. I mean, he's got time.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have his time will come.
I mean, even like a few months is all he needs.
Exactly. The wrestling world works really quickly when it needs to. It's so funny. The Rock, just real quickly, when The Rock was ready, when The Rock won the WWE Championship, a few months before when he was the leader of the nation, you got him in an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania 14. And I'm like, after that, I'm thinking this guy is going to be the WWE champion real soon. I mean, I was thinking he would be the WWE, he would win the title or at least be gunning for the title in about a year or two. Sure enough, by the end of the year, he's WWE champion.
Oh, yeah.
So
you can get some hype going. If it works, if it's organic, not real organic, but if it feels organic, it's quite, it can go fast.
Sometimes the audience is into it. And if the promotion was already kind of thinking that's what they were going to do anyways, they really get excited and they push it. They do it even quicker.
Yeah. Remember Kofi Mania?
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere and all of a sudden he's a world champion, but then that didn't last very long because Brock Lesnar whooped that ass. But
I think that when Lesnar beat Kofi, he kind of shut it down real quick. That put the brakes on it real quick and out of nowhere. But he had a good little run just for while he was doing it. They just kind of shut it down real quick with that match.
And I think that was all just I think that was unexpected and just the fact that proving the point of if the crowd gets behind something, if the crowd were to get behind Jay White, he could be champion within a couple months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's in their works, it's in their plans anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what's going to happen. So speaking of titles, international title. Last match. Oh, yeah. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. Main event. They come in. Crowd's totally invested for this. They're by themselves. Both factions kind of walk them to the entrance when they're in. Bell sounds when they're in the ring. They don't lock up. Cassidy's just kind of playing head games, not even looking at him. But you know what's coming, okay? It's going to be a slaughter fest. Cassidy, it's like you don't want him to do it because you know what's going to happen, but he has to do it because that's who he is. He puts his hands in his pockets and he gets slaughtered for it. He gets attacked. It's like he knows what he's about to get into. He knows he's going to get his ass kicked. but this is his whole MO. This is what he does. He rope-a-dopes. So maybe he can do it one more time. No. So back suplex. Mox is just on the attack. Back suplex on the Cassidy. Mox lifts and throws Cassidy, stomps him, sends him to the outside, throws him to the post, busts him open already. Is Cassidy. Mox back on the attack. Commentators are on they're on the commentators table. Mox like fisting, like throwing fists to the head, biting him. A lot of biting in this match. Okay. Uses his tape to choke him. It's not a DQ. We said this. We called this. It's not a DQ match, a no DQ match. It's not a hardcore match, but that doesn't matter. It's Mox. So he's going to do everything he needs to do to make it look like it was a no DQ match. And everything he's doing is legal to a certain extent.
And he wasn't the first one to bleed this time.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like trying to think in my head. I was like, does Mox even bleed in this match? I don't
remember if he bleeds or not, but Orange Cassidy definitely.
I know he definitely bleeds. I'm gonna look in I'm gonna look at my notes. I don't think he did. I'm gonna go with it. I don't think he did. And that was kind of like the point of this is that Mox, was obviously the champ because he bleeds usually even when he does win.
Even with him winning the title, spoiler alert if you hadn't watched it,
right?
But even with him winning the title, it's like he won the title and also put over Orange Cassidy in a way. Made him look really good, made him look on par with him, hyped him up. Even though he loses the title, he's making Orange Cassidy look like he belongs in the main event. And so
my God, awesome. That's exactly what I was going to say, Jonathan. I mean, dude, like he pushed him. He elevated him so high that he essentially said, "Hey, guess what? This guy could now be in the even though he lost his title, he can now be in the main event picture with MJF, with Adam Cole." With anybody else of these young guys that are like the pillars. He's a pillar. I mean, he is just as important as any of the other guys. You got Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, MJF, Jungle Boy. He's like the fifth pillar. Next to Britt Baker. But he is ready for the main event. I'm not saying he's going to win the title anytime soon or anything like that, but this guy just literally
he went from a joke to like legitimate to now entry into the main event picture. So he's still got some ways to go, but like this is a big step.
And he successfully, carried the main event title match or main event match of this card, this $50 pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. So I mean, Mox is choking him with the tape. He's still biting him. Okay. It's it's Cassidy who uses the nails on the back to Mox to kind of get some attack going, okay?
They were saying that was like his own tactics against him.
Yeah, he hits a PK, orange punch. That's kind of like his saving grace. He's going to hit these orange punches to give us a little bit of an idea that there is hope that he could actually walk away with the victory on this, okay? Mox, though, he hits another pile driver. He applies the bulldog choke, the bully choke, basically. Into a triangle, label lock. He's doing things that this is all BCC stuff. This is BCC business.
Yeah, the label lock. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Oh, it was. It was. He can do it all, this guy. Cassie rolls out to the ropes to avoid any other submission attempts. On the outside, Mox removes the pads. On the outside, exposing the concrete. This is great stuff.
Yeah, because Orange is not a brawler.
This is what I'm getting at. This guy can do it all. Like Cassie's great. He's like, you like respect him. He's awesome. I'm telling you, he's got it all. Like he can do it. But you're going up against a guy who's just gonna overwhelm you. He's like Cassie is a thinking man's wrestler. He can finesse you. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can finesse against this guy, against
Moxley makes you have to be a brawler back.
Exactly. And
Moxley makes you play his game.
And you're not
this is all, this is, even though it's wrestling, the psychological aspect of it is in the ring is like Moxley makes you into a brawler that you can't do all your high fly. Not that Orange is a high flyer, but like, he's going to make you have to
he's going to make you pissed. He's going to get you pissed off, and that's taking him out of his element. Exactly. Orange Cassidy cannot finesse him. And so now Cassidy's playing Moxley's game. You can't beat him at his game.
Yeah.
Unless you're freaking Abdullah the Butcher
Yeah,
not going to beat this guy.
Yeah, unless you're just a guy who was the was it when who's the indie deathmatch guy that Jericho brought in?
Oh wait,
no, MJF brought in.
Who is that guy? I think I know who you're talking about.
It doesn't matter, but guys like that, that's Moxley
killers, basically hardcore killers.
These guys that stay in the indies, but like Mox is like the guy that.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Are you talking about the what's his name? The Butcher. He's like that dude. Damn it! Now he like fights barefoot.
Something like that. I just remember there was a big old hype that he was going to come in and kill him essentially.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I gotta go. I can't believe I forgot his name. Everybody's watching like, oh, it's this guy. No, he's barefoot. He basically fights in jeans and no shirt. He's got long hair. He looks kind of like a hobo.
Yeah, that sounds about right there.
Yeah. I want to say his name is the Necro Butcher, if I'm not mistaken, but I gotta go back and look it up.
Necro Butcher.
Necro, like necromancer, Necro Butcher.
I see. Yeah, Necro Butcher. Okay.
There it is. Yes, thank you. Jeez.
I don't think it was that guy, but damn, this guy, or maybe it is. I don't know.
I think it is that guy. But he was actually in a wrestler.
This guy's scary looking.
He actually had a match he actually is in the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, and it's like great because like it goes behind the scenes. This guy is actually like got pretty deep. Like he's like a Mick Foley, where like you talk to him, and he's like, hey, how's it going? I think we're going to do this, this, and this. But in the ring, like obviously his look is completely opposite from how he talks.
Yeah.
Like a Mick Foley.
This is great. This guy, I'm going to have to. One good thing came out of this is me being exposed to this dude.
I know. I watched this. I think it was like during, I got into like a rabbit hole with hardcore wrestlers a couple of times in my life, especially after we went to that one show back in like 2016.
You're talking about like one of those deathmatch shows?
Yeah, I started going in a rabbit hole on YouTube and just seeing all this shit. And I'm like, God, they've gotten a little ridiculous with this. And people are like, oh yeah, this is hardcore wrestling. I'm like, this is not hardcore wrestling. This is fucking like, this is S&M. Like this is like sadistic. This isn't even wrestling anymore. This is like erotic, like fetish shit right here. Okay,
you're
not
like
watching
ICP wrestling.
That's right. Like you guys are doing shit that probably shouldn't be doing. But Mox is kind of like, and this is why I love John Mox. I've always have. Because he was there. He was in it like CZW. He's been in it with all these crazy bastards. He is like the golden goose that has emerged, okay, out of all this shit. Mm-hmm. All right. And that's why I love him, because he is the best. He is got the best promo work. He's got the look, and he can do all that crazy stuff if he really wants to. He is their guy. He is the guy, the top hardcore wrestler in the world. Okay. And nobody can really at me on that. So there definitely are some,
you should.
There's definitely some people definitely some people that are worse than him, that are crazier than him. Like I'm just gonna say Masada. He's probably the sickest dude I've ever seen live ever. Okay, or ever will see.
Was that the guy
the guy with the skewers? Big dude.
Was that the guy that they brought in?
No, hell no.
Okay,
hell no. But Masada's never going to make it to. I mean, he's never going to. I mean, he might make an appearance, but he is never going to be a stable in a mainstream promotion. You can't do that.
Yeah,
you're going to get freaking networks that are going to go like, "Who? What the hell are y'all doing over there?"
Yeah,
okay. We're about to go. We're about to get sued over this shit.
I mean, there's a reason they only put John Moxley's skewers on a pay-per-view.
Right? Yeah, there's a reason, guys. So
and they have not been showing like much of like the details on TV.
Exactly. So. He exposes the concrete, okay? He tries to hit the pile driver, okay? Cassidy's able to counter into a beach break, look good, onto the concrete. The back of Mox is just hurting. And then a drop kick to Mox's head against the steel steps by Cassidy. Cassidy's getting some good hope here. Mox back in exactly at 9. Cassidy with another orange punch and a third orange punch. It goes for the fourth, but it's countered into a cutter by Moxley. Mm-hmm. But the fourth punch and a spear, that's probably about the closest near fall that Cassidy's going to get at this point, period. What does he do? He puts his hands in his pockets and kicks into real kicks, like does the kicks, then gets real to Mox. That's cool. But then and then a clothesline, another strike. Mox counters with the clothesline, another strike, Death Rider for the near fall. Okay. At this point, Cassidy's out. He flicks off Moxley. Last effort of defiance before Mox hits that Death Rider for the pin and the victory. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, I figured it out who
Yeah.
it was. It was Nick Gage.
Oh! Nick
Yeah.
Gage.
Yeah. Remember the 5 labors of Jericho or whatever it was? Yeah. That guy. That kind of, like that style, that crazy style within there.
I got to go back to Nick. I haven't even heard that name in so long.
Yeah, he was I don't remember when this was.
I remember the labors. I remember the story. This was maybe 2 years ago with the labors. This is when MJF and Jericho were feuding.
Jericho, yeah, before they it was a.
They were. I think it was
after they.
I think it was after they teamed. Yeah, after they split up. Yeah, this is about 2 years ago at least.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Why would he team up with them
maybe
after
3.
the labors?
Yeah. This was good stuff. So, I mean, BCC comes out. They pick up John Moxley. They take him back. Mox is just like, holy shit, what the hell have I just been through? You know, nothing against, no attacks on Cassidy. They leave him be. Mox is your new international champ, as we called it. He's going to go to New Japan. He's going to defend that title in New Japan. He's going to defend it in the United Kingdom. He is like, you know, and it's something to say. Like, a lot of Americans are winning that title. Okay, which kind of goes against the point. Like, it's supposed to be like international. There should be more international champion. However, that doesn't take away from the fact, as long as these guys are going around the world and defending it, that's what Moxley's going to do.
Yeah,
that's what he needs to do.
I mean, he has in the past. He likes it.
Yeah, he can go to New Japan. He can defend it there. He can go to United Kingdom. He can defend it there. He can go to Mexico. He can defend there if they really want to go there. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do.
Bulgaria with Miro and defend it.
Yeah. You had 31 title defenses of Orange and Cassidy, so the fans were appreciating it. Thank you, Cassidy. You know, freshly squeezed chance. You made the title a little bit better. So, you know, Mox needs to do something with it. Let's not do it all in vain. They've built up this title. Do something with it. So
yeah, good for both of them.
Yeah,
Mox gets a title. BCC is a little more legitimate.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy gets a big push from this.
Yeah. Now he's looking like a main card, like a main event competitor, main event roster guy. So there you go. So there it is. There it is in the books. All Out review. It's been a hell of a match. Oh, hell of a card. It was a hell of a night. It was good. You know, final thoughts. Let's get into it. I mean, there are things about CM Punk that we will talk about maybe later. Maybe we'll save it for another time. Maybe we will do a little thing because, quite frankly, I don't want to get into it too much. All I know is that his absence was clearly felt. Yeah, to a certain extent. You know, this is not to say AEW needed CM Punk, because they never needed him. They could use him, and they definitely did use him. They got a Saturday show out of him. Mm-hmm. Okay, they got some Wembley Stadium cards, a match. They got a now a yearly event in Wembley Stadium. They got more eyes on the product than ever before. And you can't tell me, I don't care. Like, that's what people have been arguing about. You can't tell me that Punk didn't have a play in that. Okay.
Yeah, and you can't argue that, like, even if you don't like him, you can't argue the fact that he brought stuff to the table and there was entertaining segments.
Yeah. The thing about Tony Khan being attacked, I don't know what's going on, so I can't really say that. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody really knows what's going on backstage. But
yeah, I don't believe it, first of all.
Okay, there you go. So we'll get in. I mean, like, second of all, like, these things that happen backstage.
Do you want to get into it right now?
We'll get into it for a little bit. I'll stop. We can stop in a little, because I know we've got, like, one, and I can keep saying this. This type of stuff, the backstage stuff, the only difference between now and then is it's just being exposed more. And that's fine. It wouldn't have been exposed as much. The industry is getting cleaner. Okay. But
no, I think it's getting more political.
Of course.
It's more political in the sense of, like, they're letting the leaks happen. It's like in sports, like, you know, NBA and football.
Exactly. Well, they're letting the leaks out. They're using the leaks. Yes, exactly.
As leverage and stuff like that.
Because they know that they're going to come out anyways.
Yeah, like,
this shit is coming out anyways.
And now I can justify something with the crowd or something. You know,
they have to, because they know it's going to be let out anyways. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm a school teacher. I got students doing shit like getting crazy and getting in our faces all the time. You want to talk like what you think this is like? something new.
I think you should leak it on Twitter.
What am I going to leak it on Twitter? We're going to start a little storyline. This is life.
Little Belly got in a fight. Let's tweet that out.
What am I supposed to tweet that out? And then what am I supposed to do? Kick him out of the promotion? No, they're students. Okay. Now these are grown ass men, but guess what? They're pro wrestlers. This is not, we are not in some high rise. Okay. This is not Deloitte. This is not Lockheed Martin. And this is not some fashion industry in New York. This is not some company that you can be oh yeah, well that's completely unethical. And I'm not saying it's not a good, it should be happening. What I'm saying is it's prone to happen, and you have to be ready to deal with it.
Yeah,
because that's the business, and not let it get to that point. And also, if there's some aggressive behaviors, okay, you make sure it never gets too far, and you deal with it, because these are some aggressive ass people.
And some stupid people that have
and
big
some
egos.
Stupid, and they have big egos, and they get stupid. Okay, so you can't tell me, well, if it was my job, and if I've been a supervisor, and if I try to attack somebody, no, you are not a fucking pro wrestler. You are not a professional athlete. Okay, with hormones and testosterone driving up your brain, and you're on 11 every second. It's not that way. So, and Tony Khan, okay, who is clearly not Vince McMahon, cannot deal with that shit. And if he can't deal with that shit, maybe he needs a couple bodyguards.
Yeah, he needs some enforcers.
Maybe he needs some enforcers. Maybe freaking make sure that he's taken care of, okay, so that he never has to really feel like he's being threatened. Get the fuck out of here. We know you're a small dude. We know that, okay? Pack
he
a
didn't
gun.
feel threatened. He was
If you feel threatened, motherfucker,
life.
then get a weapon, okay? Yeah. Seriously. You're a billionaire, okay?
Yeah.
If I was you, I would always feel threatened too.
Yeah.
So I'd have my back. Okay. I don't give a damn how genuine I am, or how much I want to be friends with these guys and be real with these guys. Be real with them and be look, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Okay. You're never going to touch me. All right. If you touch me, you're going to go under. Exactly.
It's not
you're
even you're getting fired. You're getting sued. You're going to
get fucked in the ass so hard.
You're going to be in jail.
You're going to be in jail. You're going to be sued. You're going to be fucked. You know who I am, and you know what I'm capable of. You don't have to be
the physical guy to be threatening in that sense.
Right. You really don't. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to freaking make fun of you on TV for the rest of the year. You just have to lay down the law. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon,
he's too busy
he
being
knew how
a
to
fan
do this.
Still. Yeah.
And Vince also let the guys get take a little advantage of the situation, because he doesn't want to. Back then he liked the guys too. He didn't want to bury them. He was friends with Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Kevin Nash and all these, and Scott Hall, all these guys, and even Hulk Hogan. And he knew that these guys could literally overpower him, and he let them do that. But at the same time, there was a line, and they all knew the line. They all knew the line.
Yeah, I'm still your employer. I'm still the guy paying you.
He's still the boss.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to do what this guy fucking tells me to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it. So
that
what the hell is going on?
Doesn't seem to exist right now.
So don't tell me. Yeah, it's this is – and these guys aren't even like those dudes. This is CM Punk, okay? He's not a killer. He's a tough guy. I mean,
he's not a roidster either.
He's not a roidster. Let's be real. He's not some killer roidster. You got Jack Perry. Come on.
You just got some dumbass kid right there.
You got a young dude who's essentially an actor, okay, and a very athletic actor, and he's hard. He's a tough dude. Okay, great. Come on. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
How could you guys let this happen where you got a CM Punk now? If it was going to get to this far, if it was going to go this far, then just dock his freaking his exposure and be look, he's a main event attraction. He's not fucking showing up to he's only showing up at certain moments when he's a Brock Lesnar. You want to treat him like a Brock Lesnar, then make him a Brock Lesnar. Because let me tell you something, Lesnar doesn't give a shit either.
Yeah.
Okay?
But
then treat him like a Lesnar.
Yeah, but they've got anti-Lesnar protocols in place to do.
That's right. They got anti-Lesnar protocols in place to make sure this dude doesn't lose his shit. Because at any given moment he could blow.
I want to believe he only comes in right for his segment and then immediately leaves.
Exactly. The dude is a wild card. You can't control this dude, so you got to basically
just direct him.
All you can do, is kind of direct him a little bit and be okay, we're have a blast radius. Basically, that's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So what the hell are we doing? It's a damn shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. So I'm not saying, and I watched a little bit of your video. There were things that like you point out that were true. Like, yes, obviously, like these people should be punished and they should be. And if it got to a certain point, this is things that are not cool. We don't, what's it called? We don't advocate or, and believe in these types of bad things happening. We don't want them ever to happen, but there are protocols. Okay.
Yeah.
And there are ways to deal with it to keep that from ever happening or ever getting too far. And we're at a point in the business where it is getting cleaner. So you don't need to take it so far where you have a guy who essentially was your marquee player on one half of your promotion. And you just went from had like wrestling in a Wembley stadium, okay, from being back after years to then being tossed back out. What the hell is that? That's not good. That does not make sense. So,
yeah.
Anyways, that was I think we're good. If there's anything else you want to add, we have just about hit the 2-hour mark. That's good. Okay. For a show like this, for a weekend and a week like this with 2 pay-per-views, it's been quite a show. So we will probably not get back to we probably won't do too much until the next pay-per-view was at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, this November.
I know you're going to be calling your side of things, and Will be calling my side of things. We'll be doing New Japan I'll be doing New Japan, and a couple stuff going on. We got Road to Destruction. You got Will Ospreay versus Yota Tsuji at one point. You got Sonata and Tai Chi versus Sho and Evil. At one point, Sho and Evil. Sho is going to face Tai Chi for his title, and that's going to be something to keep an eye on. But
yeah,
there's a couple things on New Japan.
I know all those people right now.
Right, there's going to be a couple things that we're going to keep an eye out for. So, maybe one day we might get. At some point, I even want to do something where we talk WWE because there is some stuff to be covering on that end. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot going on. Obviously, this is September. This is
Judgment Day is probably the biggest thing that I'm interested in talking about.
Yeah, and I didn't even get to really watch it. I still have to go back and watch it. So, yeah, dude. Well, it's been fun. I got a computer to pick up, so looking forward to that. Definitely going to tinker around with that.
Raising the game.
There we go. Taking it to the next level. So, guys, it's been fun. Again, hit the like button, subscribe button at Channel Cortez 33 at Bad Guy Wrestling. Hope you all have a great weekend. Jonathan, I'll see you later.
All right. Later.
Take care.